Welcome everyone to whatever episode that is, of modding Skyrim Anniversary Edition. I've heard that all of you sexy people want to mod your Anniversary Edition, the latest version of Skyrim that Todd Howard has blessed us with. In this episode we are fixing the lighting and we are installing almost everything regarding lighting in Skyrim. We are also installing a bunch of bug fixes. Have in mind, on the next episode I am going to go on a full optimization guide in advance to everything we've installed so far when it comes to gaining FPS and having a much more stable game, but we need to prepare the ground on this episode for that. We are adding some extra combat animations, some overhauls, we're installing GK Skyrim. My name is Kavou, I'm trapped in Skyrim, so I make modding videos. Thumbs up, comment down below anything you want, it really helps me find my audience. Let's drop all this hoopla out of the way and let's start modding the game. First mod is vanilla eating animation fixes. Everybody knows that vanilla eating animations sometimes feel very broken. This mod fixes that, and again we're trying to keep the vanilla aesthetic into the game. First of all, to keep this simple, I know we don't have the requirements yet, but don't worry, we are going to get those. Install the main file here, ignore this, the same way you try to ignore your taxes. First of all, we grab the behavior data injector. It's one of those script type of mods that is going to help us mod our game. I know this says it's for 1.597 and that you need this for that mod to work. However, for the updated version to work, we need to install this, and on top of that we need to put the next mod, which is Behavior Data Injector Universal Support. This is gonna come on top on the previous mod, and just like the Power Rangers, it's going to merge. Let's get the Payload Interpreter Pelican. Just grab this and install it. We do have Nemesis, which I'm gonna run after this to have this work. Essentially, this makes or updates the pathing when it comes to NPCs, which is not only usable for combat, but it also helps us when it comes with other mods. Let's grab the MFG Fix, and this is going to help our characters take expressions, which we are going to use that later on. Grab the main file over here, the first file, and once it's installed, we go to the MFG Fix NG and we install that on top of it, which is going to make MFG Fix to actually work for the latest version of Skyrim. Now, Jaysepra is a modder that we are going to visit again later in this video, but just for the sake of the format of this, we want to grab the conditional expressions, which is going to make your characters and other characters to actually face emotions. You know, the things you try to face yourself, but you just cannot get it to work. I don't remember what the second file is for. We want to go and grab the main file over here and install that. Let's go and grab the conditional expressions extended. We have all of those installed, or if you follow the video you should have them installed, and as you can see there is a bunch of versions for this. Go and grab the main file over here and install that. Deploy the mods you have, and let's go really quick and launch Nemesis. Update the engine. You can see that in the distance it says Payload Interpreter. I think I've managed to nail the name for once. Once the loading is done, click launch Nemesis. If you are using the survival mode from the Creation Club, there is a problem that happens with attack speed in Skyrim. Every time your character becomes hungry, your attack speed adjusts and it's extremely broken. Go ahead and install this only if you have the survival mode, and go and grab the vanilla. And now on top of that, go and install the weapon speed fix, which is also going to fix a bunch of issues when it comes to weapon speed. We're going to install the extended guard dialogue. You don't want to hear the guards always tell you about that one time they took an arrow to the knee. You're going to hear them share stories and say a bunch of stuff. And go ahead and grab only the main file. Now the next mod is not really something that important. It's a mod that is going to add got a bunch of pelts as armors that you can use, and they also have HD physics. The only reason I am putting this on the video is because it fits with vanilla and it's a nice armor to have. We have the followers interact with gestures. This is such a cool mod, I could make a whole video about this. Your followers, they will not stand idly like NPCs staring at your soul. With this mod they will have animations, and you can even fix that on the MCM menu. Next we have Yuri's mod page, which is going to have all the FYX series, and we kinda want to go and grab everything here. Now remember to read the requirements, but again, because there is over 60 mods, I don't want to have this episode be an hour long. I am going to download almost everything, and don't worry because I will have the links down in the video description. Essentially his mods are grabbing different stuff that work with the textures we have installed in the game, and it fixes the environmental UVs to make everything just look and play much better. We need his mods to have a much more stable game, a much more better looking game, and combined with everything, his mods are absolutely insane. With similar fashion, there is GK Skyrim, and I am going to grab only the individual interior redesigns from his mod page, like Castle Volkihar, or Fort of Downguard, or Cinderion's Field Laboratory. I will highly recommend you to avoid any big overhauls like the Markrath Outskirts or the Solitude Outskirts. We try to make the game feel exactly like vanilla, but slightly more updated. His exterior type of overhauls, they drain so much performance and so much FPS, which again is not the reason why I've made this series. I want my Skyrim to run at 60 FPS at all time while having the best visuals. So again, I will put all of the links of all of the individual stuff I've used from his mod page down in the video description, on a page being linked probably. And now we have Smoothcam. It's an insane mod that is going to grab the camera that you have on third person, and it's going to place it on top of the shoulder of your character. You might say, Kavou, what's so important about this? It's important because it's going to make the game feel much more modern, and you are going to install on top of that the Smoothcam Vanilla Enhanced tool, which is going to make it, as you can see, to look like that when you are on third person. You can adjust those or find the preset you really like, but personally this one is my favorite. And again, don't forget to select the one we have, which is the first file over here. Grab the ESP and finish. Coming up next, I'm going to show you the best overhaul when it comes to UI, but this is going to make the UI look extremely clean, as you see here. It's my favorite UI type of mod. We're going to install all of the UI mods, and we are going to launch the game to see how they look. So let's do this right. And sadly the MCM helper doesn't work, so we need to go and install the Dear Diary and grab the second file over here and install that. Something extremely important that you are not going to get anywhere else on YouTube is that because of the latest Anniversary Edition update, if you select the 16:9 ratio or even anything higher, the ratio will not actually work because Bethesda has screwed how UI works with a new update they've made. I'm saying this because if you're going to install Untarnished UI with everything I've shown in this video, it is not going to work unless you use Dear Diary DM and Paper Squeeze fixes. Go to the files and install the white fixes, which is the one we've used. This is what you get when you pay attention to those very boring and very long videos. We are going to install the Oblivion interaction icons, which is going to add Oblivion interaction icons. You don't really need the patches for here unless you use any of those mods. You are going to install Skyhue. We need this in order to have the UI work work and only grab the main file and install that. And once everything is done, go back to Untarnished UI and grab the main file and install this. Here is the Dear Diary, and every option we're going to select here is going to be overwritten later on by Untarnished UI. Do exactly what I am doing. Now I'm using 16:9 ratio, so if you have something different, select what you have. Grab the normal version, grab everything. Here is the Oblivion interaction icons, and again, we are going to install only stuff we use. Have in mind, we try to make our game feel as vanilla friendly as possible. You can grab the colored icons if you like that. Honestly, it comes down to what you want. And sadly, I'm afraid that the better third person selection doesn't work right now for Anniversary Edition, not as I'm making this video. And now here comes the Untarnished UI, which is going to grab everything we install and adjust it. Let's install the menu, which is going to help us use a bunch of mods, mostly UI stuff. It's a cognitive thing we need. For instance, detection meter needs the menus in order to work, which is going to add detection meters. Install on top of it the detection meter Anniversary Edition support. And now we have detection meters working for Anniversary Edition. Really quick, we are installing Skyrim Souls Re-Updated, which we need for Untarnished UI, and it's a mod that it will make it where you cannot pause the game. And lastly, do you remember on the last episode we've installed Modern Weight menu? We have an Untarnished UI patch for it. Do me a favor once you see this, go back to episode 1 and then come back to this episode and try to do the comparison, because it is going to be absolutely crazy. I haven't seen how the game looks so far, but as you can see, the UI looks like it's working. So this is the UI, the skill menu. If I sleep, this is the mod we install. Those are the icons you see, the little hands and stuff like that. It's the Oblivion interaction icons. This is the new dialog window that we've installed, and this is how our menu looks with our racks and the inventory. We have another modder called Jaysepra, who is making some of the coolest mods on the Nexus, stuff that adds content like quest mods, stuff that add to the immersion like the NPCs react to frenzy and all of that. Because again, he has so many mods, as you can see, I am going to put all of the mods I'm installing into the video description or the paste bin link, which once we have all of those, it's going to make the game so much better. And the same goes for WSkeever, which has on similar fashion a bunch of fixing mods. We've got the Scared of Shootings, which is a fantastic mod on the previous episode, but there are so many of his mods. When it comes to the Skeever mods, you guys go ahead, use your wild imagination and pick the things you think you want in your game. Let's continue with no furniture on camera, which is going to do exactly that. Let's grab the modern first person animation, and the reason why I like this, it feels very vanilla like. The only animation I don't like, it comes with a boss, which we can fix that by not installing the bow animation, which you can do this on the installer. You can go and grab everything you want. I am not going to grab the dual sword and the bow. We have sneak archery, which is going to add animations when you sneak on archery, and then we have the Vanagrand animations for archery, which is going to make archery play so much more nicer. Those are for third person. And let's grab the dual wield normal and power attacks, the dual wield sneak strikes, and the dual wield sneak thrusts. We have the one-handed mid stance, the one-handed normal attacks, the one-handed power attacks, and lastly the sneak crossbows and the unarmed non-combat locomotion. Then we go to Goetia and we get the Goetia spellcasting, which is going to add third-person spellcasting animations, the enhanced staves, which is one of the coolest mods when it comes to using stuffs, go ahead and grab the main file and install that. Grab the Goetia Sneak Magic, the Goetia Conditional Shouts, which is going to add conditional shouting. Then let's grab the description framework, which is going to fix a bunch of stuff when it comes to the description. We have all of the requirements, so go ahead and install the main file. Grab the animated ships, a very small mod that adds up a lot into the game by making the seas of Skyrim to feel much more alive. On similar fashion, we're grabbing ships on the horizon, which is going to show ships on the horizon. Grab the static and let's grab the ruddy, more dramatic red mountain plume. Have in mind, to have all of those work, you need to run Dandolot. Let's grab random death animations and install that. Let's grab Moroloot Ultimate, which is going to change how the loot will work. We need to install the main file and on top of it, the Anniversary Edition patch. Let's install the HS Player Homes Bridgeholm, which is the best Bridgeholm replacer I've seen that actually works and doesn't break your game. Grab the main file over here and also grab the Lux patch, which we are going to install later on. We need the HS resources, which I forgot. Go and install the HS resources. On top of that, we have animated Embers, self-explanatory, install that, and Embers XD, which in my opinion is the best Ember type of mod on the Nexus. Go ahead and grab the main file over here and also grab the first update file and also grab and install the Embers XD survival mode improved. And also let's grab the survival mode improved that only if you own survival mode is why you need this. Go on the second main file and install. Let's install some of the big mods. Let's first of all go with Lux and install the main file and also the parallax, high Rothar. That's gonna take quite some time. Then let's go and install the Lux via and install the main file only. And lastly, go to Lux Orbis and install the main file and the creation content bundle. It's going to be quite hellish once all of those three mods will be installed because it's going to be quite a lot of stuff, but I'm gonna walk together with you step by step into installing them. Go for the normal one and go for optimized and normal. You can change anything you want. We can grab all of the add-ons here. Here is Lux and let's install that. We might not have all of the patches needed for Lux, which is again another reason to install Lux to remember what we miss. You can go for the first option here in the webs, grab the fixed multi-layer parallax fix. For the optimized table, select vanilla, select the SMIMM optimized chandeliers, go for giant campfires and select parallax. We need the improved Dwemer glass. This is for SMIM, grab everything on parallax. If you have the content message of Creation Club, click parallax. Go to the fixes, we have those, and I am not going to install the missing encounters because I want to make the game as compatible as possible, and click finish and that's it. Now when it comes to conflicts, it's quite a lot. Only grab the look stuff and change those. That should do it. Click save and don't worry with this, you need to grab the Lux main and click load among and that should do it. Grab the NoNB light, less lanterns plugin and finish. Grab the parallax, the SMI message. I haven't installed the FYX yet as I am recording this video, but grab the FYX smooth wells and watering wells. Grab this one as well and grab the main file and install that. And let's go to the outward so I can show you the lighting. I have to say guys, this looks really nice. I find the dot a little bit irritating in the middle, but I'm very sure there is a way to remove that if I adjust the settings a bit. Addon is there just chilling, and you know what? Let's go to Riverwood and you can see the compass as well. The UI, guys, is really nice, and those are the clouds we've installed on the previous episode. You should go and watch the previous episodes if you want your game to look like this, and even more important, guys, to run like this. This is full 60 FPS on anything we do. There is going to be no crashes or no issues. Of course, our game is not going to be free of that, but the way I've modded the game is going to be very performance friendly, which is what we do. This is an issue with Peltazooza. I will have to reinstall that. I've messed up with my installation. This is how lighting is, and let's wait, let's see. Let's go later in the evening where it's going to be slightly more dark to see again how lighting is going to look. Just look at that, guys. This looks magnificent. You don't want ENBs. I know ENBs look amazing. I've used ENBs myself, but just look at that. This is the vanilla aesthetic, and it looks so damn nice with everything we've installed. You don't need 10 different mountain textures, just use Skyrim because they look like vanilla. You don't need 10 different water overhauls, just use the vanilla water with community shaders. I am using Happy Little Trees, of course, which will have some new stuff here and there, but again, this is 100% vanilla. I mean, not 100%, but you get the idea. It's mostly vanilla. There is not that many new custom models and textures. This is exactly how the game, in my opinion, should look. It might not be perfect comparing that to Nolvus or any other graphic mod list, but again, the idea of those series, if you followed some of the episodes, is not to make Skyrim look like the best graphical game ever made, like the new Crysis or something like that. And I'm saying this as I'm closing the episode. The idea and the vision of my series, because I know a lot when it comes to modding in Skyrim, is to make Skyrim feel vanilla-like. Maybe I've added way too many mods that alter that. You might be right. Maybe next time we can add even fewer mods. But that being said, this is fully anniversary edition, and this is how beautiful the game looks. I might come back at any point and add few mods. There is some stuff I've missed, but that being said, that was the series. I will be missing, guys, for the next 2 weeks, maybe more than that. I am working during summer, so I won't be able to upload as much, but I will do my best when I come back to answer to all of your questions. Maybe update this mod list by adding one last episode where I will include everything I've missed, which is not that many stuff really. And don't forget, we are running so many overhauls for smithing, for clothing, for combat, for so many things, and this spider really wants to get me. But that being said, that was the episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like the video, subscribe if you want to watch this for more. I'm making modding videos of Bethesda games, Fallout, Skyrim, you call it. And that being said, I'm gonna see you in the next one. That was me, Kavou, and until the next month, I guess, happy modding.